Alright, we are once again recording. This time it's actually picking up my voice and the audio from the game. At least I hope it's picking up some audio from the game. Let me just crank up the volume a little bit for desktop audio here. Okay, apparently it's not picking up any of that. Oh well. You'll be able to hear me talk better if you don't hear the music. I'm getting music in my headphones. Let's see, this is version 0.1.1.0. So I'm expecting that there'll probably be some more enemy types. Probably be some more, let's see. Possibly some more weapon types. Possibly more levels. We shall see. Okay, so in the ship comes, up from the bottom. Here they come. Okay, so that one is different color. Turn speed. Okay, so the items are now gray instead of blue. I kind of liked blue better. When it's a cool color, then you kind of know it's one of the good guys. Gray, you never quite know what that's going to be. Oh boy, I think my maximum health went up. What is 0 here? Okay, maximum health. Doesn't do me any good until I get regeneration. Or some health pickups. Okay, number 3 there is crit. If I remember right, 9 is regeneration. And that's 6, which is just plain old speed boost. I think 1 is regenerating shields, so that's a pretty high priority there. Yep, 1 is indeed regenerative shields. Fortunately, there's just plain old health pickups. Oh, I got Firecracker. Seven is turn speed. Oh, and it actually shows what upgrades you've got down here. I like it. Okay. 4 is increased rate of fire. Okay, and he's changed the regeneration. You regenerate after you've taken damage, and you regenerate over 10 seconds. Alright, so it's not permanent regeneration. That could increase the difficulty here. Or at least make me more reliant on the little green health pickups. Sorry if I'm talking really loud. It's just... I guess it's just an instinctive response to the fact that I got really loud music blaring in my ears. It's pretty good music, too. Sounds kind of anime-ish, but it's well done music. I never really asked where the music came from. So far, it's fairly standard, not that different from earlier versions of it, except maybe for the Firecracker buff. You know, the fact that the regeneration only triggers when you've taken damage might not be a good thing, because I haven't taken any damage yet. I'm actually playing really well here. Maybe it's because the rate at which these ships are coming is a little bit tempered. I'm able to dodge their shots pretty effectively, at least for the first stage, which, you know, that's got its silver linings, but that means I am not triggering the number 9 item regeneration at all. Not as far as I can tell. Okay, now I triggered the regeneration, I think. You know, in some ways, the fact that it only triggers when you take damage I feel like that's kind of a problem because it means if you play well, it doesn't do you a lick of good. I suppose you could make that argument for increased health, too. But that being said, it still doesn't feel very rewarding to get those power-ups and then not get any benefit from them because you don't get hit. Time to start using missiles. 16. Apparently that's one of the... Okay, that's one of the rarer ones. It has a chance to create an explosion that deals some AoE damage, which is good. I think another one of the power-ups that I got last time was one that increases my missile magazine. Let's see. I know that if you get far enough, that is to say if the enemy level gets high enough, the stage clears and you move on to another stage. It certainly takes a while for that to happen. Personally, I feel like it ought to happen... I probably should be on about the 3rd level by now, the way most games feel. Oh well. This doesn't have to be like all games. I certainly hope that when the enemy ships disappear, I have a chance to get all the items first. Oh, yes. Oh, and there's actually some pretty good level done music as well. It's kind of suspenseful. I like it. And now the music is darker, much like the background. Oh boy, turret! I always prioritize the turrets because they can do damage that it's impossible to dodge unless you're able to outrun their turning circle. Yeah, they have a limited turn speed just like you do. Generally, the answer is to get close to them. You know, I haven't yet used the shell barrage. At least that's what I call it. That's the R attack. I'll just use it now as an example. It sort of gives you a second barrage of fire, and I assume it does more damage. It's on a much longer cooldown. Okay, more recharging shields. Oh dear. There's an example of what the turret can do. Number 12. Magazine. Okay, that's... Huh. I think magazine is one of those things that lets me use missiles more often or something. One thing about missiles is that the missiles are white or pretty close to white, and so are your regular shots. If the missiles were a noticeably different color, like yellow or orange or something, it might be easier to tell that you have fired a missile. Missiles can be very impactful. Like right there, I shot a missile. You probably didn't see it, but I fired a missile at a cluster of low-health enemies, and it helped to take them out. So the missiles can be impactful, but when you can actually see the thing that you're doing in-game, it tends to do much better in terms of emotional impact. Like in League of Legends, they want you to be able to see the spells that you've cast. When you cast a spell and launch some powerful projectiles at an enemy or something, they want you to be able to see that. Actually, the choice of having little flashing red circles for the enemy shots is very good. It contrasts extremely well with all the backgrounds that I have seen in this game so far. What we have here is black and maybe some dark, cool colors like green and blue in this background. That contrasts extremely well with the red circles here. So that was an excellent choice. Okay, now you saw that missile because there was nothing else on screen. No bullets or anything. And that was impactful, and I liked it. But it would probably be better if I could see the missiles somehow. Whether it's blue or orange or yellow or what have you. For some reason, what comes to my mind is torpedoes from Star Trek the motion picture. They never fired ship's phasers in Star Trek the motion picture, which is something that I dislike about it. The Enterprise fired one photon torpedo at an asteroid early on in it. Some Klingon ships fired torpedoes, and they were basically the same visual effect, except the Klingon torpedoes were orange, and the Enterprise's torpedo was blue. They looked cool. They were extremely flashy. In a kind of a literal way, there were like these rays of light that came out of the torpedo, which was essentially a ball of light. And sometimes those rays got in the camera's face and created a lens flare, not unlike the Star Trek 2009 lens flares. It was beautiful, but it made the torpedoes extremely visible. Considering they were just about the only things on the screen, or the thing that they wanted to emphasize the most, I suppose it worked. I feel like the turrets are turning more slowly now than they did before, but maybe that's just because I haven't really gotten a chance to see them in action. If you get far enough away from them, I'm sure it feels like they turn pretty quickly. Oh dear. You know, what I also like about it is that I could see their aiming lasers already, even when I didn't know exactly where the turret was. Blue, regeneration. Oh! Okay, so there's actually two different kinds of regeneration. There's the number 9, which is in response to being damaged. And then there's the number 13, which is constant. Oh boy. 2 turrets at the same time. 5! 5 turrets! And it just clicked in my head that if I don't clear off the turrets fast, then there's more that are going to spawn and they are going to wreck me. You really got to prioritize targets here, which actually is really good gameplay. Yep. Just barely avoided getting nailed by that. Oh dear. Whoa. For a second, my mouse wasn't even in this, apparently, and that caused some problems. Alright, need to fuse the shell barrage here. And I just took damage. Hopefully that triggers the number 9 regeneration. Yowza! I don't know how I got by with not that much damage. Oh dear. I definitely took some damage there. Shell barrage time. Oh dear. They got me. They definitely got me there. It's amazing how fast your health can go down in this game. Anyways, let's just take a look at all the power-ups that I've gotten. I've gotten quite a few. Number 16, all projectiles have a 20% plus 20% per stock chance to explode on impact for 50% total damage. Okay. Number 15, shortens reload of secondary weapon. Okay, Arthur Ditto. I'm surprised Ricky called it that. Really don't understand what that's all about. Number 12, magazine. Allows to load additional charge in the secondary weapon. Okay, I got 7 of those, and there's 8 homing missiles there. Okay, 14, oil drum. Destroyed enemies explode, dealing 30% base damage. Huh. Okay, so firecrackers is all projectiles. This one is destroyed enemy ships. Okay, or Shups, I should say. Number 10, 5% chance for critical hits to crit, dealing quadruple damage. You know, the crit of a crit. We had that before. Barrel extender increases projectile speed. That's number 5. Number 8 is armor plate, grants flat damage reduction. Number 9 is toolbox, which is after taking damage, regenerate 5 hit points plus 5 per stack over 10 seconds. You know, that could end up being a net positive depending on how much damage you take, but obviously they dole out a lot more damage at higher levels. Increases base damage, that's number 2. Number 11, destroyed enemies release 3 plus 1 every 5 stacks, projectiles in random directions. In other words, you keep getting these items and you have to wait a while to actually get any benefit from them. It might be better if you got 1 bullet per stack or a % chance to get additional bullets, and that % chance goes up every stack. See, number 1, that's the rechargeable shields. That one's turning out to be a lot more useful than the other regeneration effects that I've seen, but having those little green health pickups just helps amazingly, and I guess with those added to the game, it doesn't really matter that regeneration is so much less a part of these items. Number 6 increases ship speed. Number 3 increases crit chance. Number 0, maximum health. 4, increased rate of fire. And 7, turn speed. Okay. So it's a challenging game. Don't think I've gotten past stage 3 yet. And overall, I think this is really excellent, and I'm looking forward to see what else is coming. So far, I've only seen the 2 enemy types. The standard purple Shups, which are actually the icon for the game, even, and the turrets that shoot you with lasers. So, yeah, I think I'll send the recording there.